Hi there, in this video we are going to go over how to find the surface area of a square pyramid. Alright, so to begin, the objective for today is to find the surface area of a square pyramid. So the difference between a prism and a pyramid, you have to know this, right? So a prism has two parallel and congruent faces that are called bases. Alright, so that's what a prism is. This here is a picture of a triangular prism. And the two faces that are parallel and congruent are the two triangles. So these two triangles, they are congruent to each other. If you don't know what that word means, it means equal, right? Same size and shape. All right, so both of those triangles, they are opposite and congruent to each other. So that is your triangular prism. A pyramid has one base, which here is that base, and triangular lateral faces that meet at a common vertex. So this is the common vertex. This is the point where all of the other faces meet, right? And this is an example of one of the triangular faces. There is another triangular face here, and another triangular face here, and there is one triangular face also in the back. All right, those are the lateral faces. All right, so some important vocabulary. Vertex, this is like the corner or a point. That's up here. Honestly, all of these are vertices, right? So each of the corners is a vertex. The slant height is the height of the slant of the triangle, the triangular lateral face. So if we're looking at this face, okay, the height of that triangle, not the height of the whole shape. The lateral face, this is any face that's not the base. In this case, the base is down here, and it is a rectangle or a square. All right, so anytime you see little b, I want you to think base. Capital B is the area of the base. You're going to have to know the difference eventually. So example 1, find the surface area of the square pyramid. So first, let's find the area of the base, so, or capital B. So this is your base, and it is a square. And in order to find the area of any square, you would do 4 times 4, and you get 16. All right, so the area of that square, 4 times 4 is 16. Next, you're going to find the area of the lateral faces or the triangles. All right, so this is one of those lateral faces. Since this is a square pyramid, all of the triangles are actually the same size. So we're going to find the area of one triangle, in which case you do the formula 1/2 times base times height, right? That's the area of a triangle. So we're going to do 1/2 times the base of the triangle, which is 4, times the height, the lateral height, the slant height, I should say, which is that, and that is 9. So we're doing 1/2 times 4 times 9. Okay, well, half of 4 is 2, and then 2 times 9 gets you 18. So one of those triangles' areas is 18. But we don't just have one triangle, we have 4. So we are going to take that 18 and we're going to multiply it by 4 because there's 4 of those triangles. So we're going to do 18 times 4, and we get 72. right? So now your total area, you're going to take the area of the base, which is 16, and you're going to add that to 72, and you get 88 inches. And anytime we're talking about area, you want to square your units. All right, so moving on, to example 2, find the surface area of the square pyramid. So first we're going to find the area of the base, or capital B. In this case, our base is this square here, and we're going to do 5 times 5, right? Base times height, 5 times 5, and that gets us 25. Base times height and length times width, however you want to think of it. Okay, and then the lateral faces. So now we're looking at each of these triangular faces, which I'm going to really focus on this triangular face since I'm given the slant height there. So the base here is 5, the height is 7, slant height is 7. So we're going to do 1/2 times base times height. 1/2 times the base of the triangle is 5 times the slant height of the triangle, which is 7. And then, so 1/2 times 5 times 7, that'll get you 17.5. That is only the area of this one triangle. You want to find the area of all 4 of those triangles. So we are going to do 17.5 times 4, and we get 70. All right, so between the area of the base, which is 25, the area of the lateral faces, which is 70, when you add the 2, you end up with 95 inches squared. All right, example 3, find the surface area of a square pyramid that has a slant height of 8 centimeters and a base length of 5 centimeters. All right, so if you are not good at drawing pictures, I'm going to help you out, but you don't actually need a picture in order to solve for this. There is a square. I would start with a square, and I would make a point up here which represents your common vertex. And then I would connect that common vertex to all of my other vertices or corners. And now I have a square pyramid. All right, so you've got a slant height of 8 centimeters. So the slant height, that is the height here, the slant height of this triangle. All right, the slant height is 8 centimeters. And a base length of 5 centimeters. All right, so the area of the base, which is a square, so base times height, we would be doing 5 times 5, which is 25, right? Because this is a square, it goes all around, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then we're going to find the area of the lateral faces. So we would do 1/2 times the base. So when I'm saying the lateral faces, we're talking about the triangular faces. So here's the triangle I'm talking about. The base of the triangle, which is here, that's 5 centimeters. And then the lateral, the slant height, is this here, which we identified already as 8 centimeters. So we're doing 1/2 times 5 times 8. So 1/2 times 5 times 8, and that'll get you 20. All right, and since there's 4 of them, 4 of those sides, we're doing 20 times 4, and we get 80. So now we're doing 80 plus 25, right? 25 plus 80. The area of our base plus the lateral faces, and we end up with 105 centimeters squared. All right, so just some concluding thoughts. Capital B is the area of the base. Lowercase b is base. Surface area is the total area of all of the faces added together. pyramid has one base and a whole bunch of triangular faces that meet at a common vertex. A prism has two bases that are parallel and congruent to each other. All right, and just some important formulas: the area of a square, length times width; the area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. All right, so that is all. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned how to find the surface area of a square pyramid.